let me talk about Deku for a second. Deku is very, very lovable because obviously his whole origin story, he wanted abilities so badly, and then he found out like he was in that percentage that would not get abilities, and he was like the biggest hero stan. He was All Might's biggest stan, right? And so that was just like so heartbreaking. And then he gets a chance because he sacrifices himself for someone who has bullied him. And he shows bravery even though he has no powers. And like it's just kind of like this like wonderful story of fate. But so I love Deku. But Deku, he cries a lot, and I feel like, he sometimes I'm just kind of like, okay, Deku, like there's a lot going on around you. You know what I mean? And like I'm an empath. I guess I cry a lot too. So maybe that is what it is. I think I have a problem with Deku because I see so much of myself in Deku. Like I'm just like I see him being emotional, and I'm just like, no, you got to be hard. You got to be like Bakugo, and Bakugo is my favorite, and I think it's because I think there's a couple reasons why I really like Bakugo. And I think it's one, because Bakugo is unapologetically himself and he speaks his truth all the time. And I love that. And that's something that like I'm trying to work on myself. But the other thing that I really love about Bakugo is that he so I'm ADHD, I'm neurodivergent, and when I'm in high pressure situations, like that's when something activates for me. And I think for like Bakugo, when he's in those high pressure situations, like he just is able to be a really great leader. And I think that that's like what I really love about Bakugo. And so I think sometimes, I see the vulnerability in Deku, and it reminds me maybe a little bit too much of myself. And so then I get a little bit, I'm just like, no, I want to be like big, strong Bakugo. I don't want to be like cracking like Deku. But the reality is that like life is really hard. Life is super hard for Deku. So it's like, I think sometimes it's hard for us to see someone being weak and vulnerable. So I think like Deku does tend to get a little bit of hate sometimes. But I think, sometimes we need that. We need that Deku. Someone said Deku's just pure. You had characters like that in Kenshiro of Fist of the North Star. Man, tears are dangerous. Someone said Bakugo is just spouting trauma everywhere. I mean, I think that's the thing. I also... okay, hold on. We got a lot to talk about if we're going to talk about My Hero Academia, but we'll leave it at that for Deku and Bakugo.